The young delivery mother stared at the empty lunch container in her hands as her stomach growled with hunger. Just minutes earlier, she had handed her only meal of the day to a frail elderly man sitting alone on a park bench because she could not bear to watch him shiver and go hungry. She smiled through her own hunger, climbed back onto her delivery scooter, and rode away believing no one would ever know what she had done. Less than 24 hours later, that same elderly man walked into the headquarters of the delivery company where she worked, and within minutes the ruthless manager who had made her life miserable was escorted out of the building in complete silence. If you believe kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances still exist in this world, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you can continue growing with our family and our community. Brenna Whitmore never imagined life would become so difficult before her 30th birthday. After losing her husband in a tragic highway accident 2 years earlier, she became the only provider for her 6-year-old son, Owen. Every morning before sunrise, she prepared his breakfast, dropped him at school, and spent the rest of the day delivering groceries, restaurant meals, medicine, and household supplies across the city. Her income barely covered rent, utilities, and school expenses, leaving almost nothing for herself. Even on the hardest afternoons, she refused to let Owen see fear on her face. She wanted him to grow up believing that kindness was stronger than hardship. Unfortunately, her workplace offered little compassion. The regional operations manager, Cedric Hollowell, believed delivery workers were replaceable. He measured human value by speed, customer ratings, and profit margins. If someone arrived a few minutes late because of traffic, weather, or helping another person, he deducted bonuses without hesitation. Employees feared his daily inspections because every mistake became another reason for public humiliation. Brenna quietly accepted the unfair treatment because finding another job while raising a young child alone felt almost impossible. One bright afternoon, after completing several deliveries without taking a proper break, Brenna finally parked beside a peaceful public garden to eat the simple sandwich she had packed that morning. It was all she had until dinner. As she unwrapped it, she noticed an elderly gentleman sitting alone on a nearby bench. His clothes were clean but old, and his hands trembled slightly as he watched families enjoying picnics. He tried to hide his hunger with a gentle smile, but his tired eyes revealed the truth. Without giving herself time to reconsider, Brenna walked over and offered him the entire meal. She apologized because it was not much, but she hoped it would help. The old man hesitated before accepting the sandwich with quiet gratitude. Brenna simply wished him well, drank a bottle of water to quiet her own hunger, and returned to work without expecting anything in return. The elderly man introduced himself only as Arthur. He asked for her name, thanked her sincerely, and watched as she disappeared into busy afternoon traffic, carrying not only delivery bags but also the invisible weight of responsibility. The rest of the day became increasingly difficult. Hunger made Brenna lightheaded, yet she continued working because missing deliveries meant losing income. Near the end of her shift, heavy traffic delayed one important order by several minutes. Although the customer kindly explained the delay was understandable, Cedric refused to listen. In front of other employees, he accused Brenna of lacking commitment and announced that her monthly performance bonus would be cancelled. She returned home emotionally exhausted. Owen greeted her with a handmade drawing showing the two of them standing beneath a bright blue sky holding hands. At the bottom he had written, in uneven letters, that his mother was his hero. Brenna hugged him tightly, silently promising herself she would never allow bitterness to replace love. The following sunny morning began like every other. Brenna reported for work expecting another exhausting shift. Instead, she noticed several luxury vehicles parked outside company headquarters. Employees whispered nervously, wondering why senior executives had arrived without notice. Inside the conference room sat the same elderly man from the park, now dressed in a tailored suit. He stood comfortably beside the company's board of directors while reviewing financial reports. Brenna could hardly believe her eyes. Arthur Hawthorne was not a homeless retiree at all. He was the founder of the national logistics company that owned the delivery service. After retiring several years earlier, he quietly traveled between cities without revealing his identity, observing how ordinary people and frontline employees were treated. He believed no business could truly succeed unless it respected the workers who served customers every day. Arthur immediately recognized Brenna among the gathered employees. He publicly thanked her for offering her only meal to someone she believed was simply a hungry stranger. He explained that genuine generosity revealed itself most clearly when people had very little to give. Then his expression became serious. Over the previous months, Arthur had received anonymous reports describing fear, unreasonable penalties, and declining employee morale within Cedric's regional division. Brenna's compassion had inspired him to investigate personally. After interviewing dozens of workers, reviewing performance records, and examining unfair disciplinary actions, Arthur uncovered a disturbing pattern. Cedric had manipulated bonus systems, ignored customer praise when it benefited employees, and created impossible delivery expectations that rewarded fear instead of excellence. Many workers had resigned because they felt invisible. Others remained only because they had families depending on them. Arthur quietly presented the evidence to the board. Within minutes, Cedric's employment was terminated. The room remained completely silent as security escorted him from the building. No applause followed. Only relief. For the first time in years, employees felt someone had finally listened. Arthur announced immediate reforms. Delivery schedules would become more realistic. Emergency situations would receive fair consideration. Outstanding customer kindness would count alongside delivery speed when evaluating performance. Mental health support, paid family leave, and hardship assistance programs would also be expanded. When Arthur invited Brenna to speak about her experiences, she surprised everyone. Instead of celebrating Cedric's downfall, she simply expressed hope that everyone, including him, might someday understand that leadership meant lifting people rather than frightening them. Her words touched even the directors. She carried no desire for revenge. Only hope that others would not experience the same suffering. Over the following months, the workplace transformed. Managers began accompanying delivery drivers to understand their daily challenges. Customer appreciation programs highlighted acts of honesty and compassion instead of focusing only on statistics. Employees who once dreaded coming to work rediscovered pride in serving their communities. Brenna continued delivering packages, but now she smiled more often. She no longer skipped meals because fair wages and restored bonuses finally allowed her small family to breathe financially. Arthur never forgot the woman who had fed him. He established the Whitmore Compassion Award, presented each year to employees whose kindness positively impacted strangers without seeking recognition. The award included financial assistance for education, housing, or family needs, ensuring generosity could continue spreading throughout the company. When Brenna received the first award, she accepted it with tears in her eyes. Instead of spending the prize entirely on herself, she donated a portion to local food programs supporting struggling single parents. She explained that someone somewhere was probably facing the same difficult choices she once faced. Months later, Owen proudly watched his mother receive recognition during a community celebration held in the company courtyard beneath warm afternoon sunshine. He held her hand exactly as he had drawn months earlier. Looking around, Brenna realized the greatest reward had never been public recognition. It was knowing that one small act of compassion, given during her own moment of hunger, had changed the lives of hundreds of working families who would never even know the full story. Arthur often said businesses grew stronger when leaders remembered that every employee carried unseen burdens beyond the workplace. A delivery driver might also be a grieving widow. A warehouse worker might be caring for aging parents. A cleaner might be paying for a child's education. Kindness toward employees always found its way back to customers. Before this story comes to its close, we would love to hear from you. Please leave a meaningful comment telling us whether you believe a single act of kindness can truly change someone's future, or share a moment when a stranger's compassion gave you hope during a difficult season of life. Brenna never considered herself extraordinary. She was simply a mother who refused to let hardship steal her humanity. By giving away her last meal, she unknowingly reminded an entire company that compassion creates stronger communities than fear ever could. Arthur discovered that the future of his business depended not on impressive buildings or financial reports but on protecting the dignity of the people who represented it every single day. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey. Always remember that kindness is never wasted. Even the smallest sacrifice made with a sincere heart can travel farther than we ever imagine, returning one day to transform lives, restore hope, and remind us that goodness still has the power to change the world.